Good day, viewers. You are welcome to Mathematics in 3 channel. This Novdec Mathematics question. I hope that this will be called mathematics. A friend just sent me this question to solve it. So this was question 8A and II. So let me solve this Ghana Mathematics in 3 channel. Okay, let's go. This was the question given that y equals s square root of t raised to the power 2 plus u. I make t the subject of the relation I if y equals 12.2, x equals 0.02, and u equals 1.1. Evaluate correct to the nearest whole number, the value of it. Please, the square root of t squared plus u, the square root affects the whole thing. The square root affects the whole thing. And t raised to the power 2 can also be written as the way I've written. So please put this in memory, okay? Don't forget the question, because you base on the question to solve our work. One more thing, please, you can appreciate my work by subscribing to encourage me to do more. Let's solve the I. We want to make t the subject. So write the whole equation again and divide and square both sides. We square both sides to take away the square roots. Then square will cancel square root and the s will be s square. So the square has taken away the square root of t square plus u. We can continue to divide both sides by s square so that it will left with t square plus u alone. Now it will be easier if we only have y square over s square equals t square plus u. Now we can say that y square over s square. Now one more thing, since the u is positive, we can use it to cross the equal to sign. So plus u will be negative u or minus u. Y square over s square minus u equals t square. The t square is standing still. So we can square root both sides so that the square root of t square will go away. Or we can say that the square will cancel the square root. So we will have only t. Therefore, t equals square root of y square over s square minus u. Or let's write it well so that we will all understand the whole concept. T equals square root of y over s, or into bracket square minus u. This is another way of writing it. So this is our final solution. Let me put it into bracket because I don't want any problem. Though it's not necessary to put it in a bracket, but let me put it inside the bracket. So this was the first method. Let's move on to the second method. Dealing with change of subject, there are many ways to tackle a question. We have done the first method or the first approach. We square both sides, but here we will divide both sides by x. X here and x there. Y over x and s over x. S can take away x because s divided by x is 1. Y over s equals square root of t square plus u. We can now further go on to square both sides. It is almost the same thing, just that the first one we first squared both sides, but here we divided by s first before we squared both sides. Y over s all square equals t square plus u. But since we have to make t the subject, we can say that t square equals, then we write our y over x all square. And now this is our y over x all square. We've written it here. We've just changed the positions. So our u will cross the equal to sign to become minus u. Y over s all square minus u. That is the second method. So we've just swiped the sides. We can also square both sides here so that we will get t, because square can cancel out square root. It will left with only t. Therefore, we can say that t equals square root of y over s square minus u. This was the second approach, and this is the first approach. We have the second approach and the first approach, but the same answer. Please bear in mind the square root affects y over s square minus u for the first method. for the first method, and the same applies to the second method too. Same answers for both methods. Now let's get back to the question again. The II part. If y equals 12.2, s equals 0.02, and u equals 1.1, then we have to evaluate it. We are fixing the values in the equation. The values, the 12.2, the 0.02, and the 1.1. T equals the square root of y over x into bracket square, and y was 12.2, or y is 12.2, and the x is 0.02 all square minus the u is 1.1. You can verify it from the question. If y equals 12.2, s equals 0.02, and u equals 1.1. Okay, now there is understanding. We can square both sides and say that 12.2 square is 148.84. So we are not squaring both sides anywhere. We are squaring only the fraction, and we are deducting 1.1 from the fraction. But 448.84, it is same as 14,884 over 100, because we have two decimal places. That stands for the two zeros of the 100. Now, 0.0004 is the same as 4 over 10,000, because we have four decimal places. So we will count it like the way they do the runoff. We will count it, so it is 4 over 10,000. The division sign can be changed to multiplication. In mathematics, whenever we have division sign, we change to multiplication if we can only change that. Then we change the numerator and the denominator of a fraction. The 4 and the 10,000 will be changed, meaning their position will change. And how will it change? They will just interchange positions. So the 10,000 will swap with the 4, and the 4 will swap with the 10,000. Therefore, it will be 10,000 over 4 instead of 4 over 10,000. The two zeros of the 100 can cancel the two zeros of the 10,000. And 4 can go into 14 3 times. We write our 3 there. What will be the remainder? It will be 2, because 4 times 3 is 12. Now the 2 will add up to the 8 to become 28. 4 times 7 is 28, or 4 can go into 28 7 times. Then 4 goes into 8 2 times or twice. 4 into 1, 4 1 time. Therefore, for dividing 14,884 is 3,721. So we are shifting to that side to multiply with the 100. So 3,721 multiplying 100. It is 3,000, but 100 has two zeros. So 3,000 attached to two zeros will be 300,000. So if you have 3,721, it will be 372,100. That should be our final answer for the fraction, the square of the fraction. 372,100 subtracting 1.1. Or we can say that 11 over 10. 1.1 is the same as 11 over 10 because we have only one decimal place. Therefore, we have 1 0. Now for this one, I will give you time to find the LCM or use any means to simplify it. One thing, let me warn you on this, or let me caution you on this. If you have a square root and you want to figure out the LCM of a fraction, please you just work on the LCM first. After that, put the LCM or the answer for the LCM in the square root before you square the whole thing, or before you square root the whole thing. The final solution of the LCM will be 3,720,989 over 10. Someone can choose to write it as this, or the person can also write it in standard form. The person can deduce it into standard form as 3.720989 times 10 raised to the power 5, or 10 exponent 5. And this one is also good. Mathematics is beautiful. Mathematics is dynamic. Mathematics is in different paradigm. Someone can also write it as this in one decimal place. If we simplify it, our answer or T is approximately 610. Thank you for being with me in this long run to solve Novdec question from a friend. Please kindly subscribe to Mathematics in 3.